Welcome geniuses, I'm Genie, your best buddy for A-levels. In this channel, we'll bring you to explore the secret formula behind success.
Let's have a look at this question. May-June 2015, variance 11 and question 1. Alright, so given that theta is an obtuse angle measured in radians and that the sine theta equals to k, find in terms of k an expression for part 1, cos theta. So for now, you are given sine theta and you are asked to find cos theta, tangent theta and sine theta plus pi. So how are we supposed to answer this type of question? This question looks simple, but actually a lot of students can't understand what the question wants or how to solve this question. So let's have a look at the first point here, obtuse angle. So what is obtuse angle? We have a few types of different angles. One is acute angle, one is obtuse angle, and the other one is reflex angle. So for the obtuse angle means that the angle is in between 90 to 180. Okay, so the angle is in between 90 to 180, which means it's supposed to be in second quadrant. Let's draw this. Add sugar to coffee, which means in the first quadrant, for all the trigonometries, sine, cos, tangent are all positive. But in the second quadrant, only sine is positive. As for the third quadrant, only tangent is positive. And for the fourth quadrant, only cos is positive. Alright, so for this question, it mentioned that the angle is obtuse angle, which means it should be in the second quadrant. Okay, and it's given that sine theta equals to k. So since you are given the sine theta's ratio, which means we can actually draw a right angle triangle. And for the right angle triangle, we must draw it in the second quadrant because it's mentioned that the theta is an obtuse angle. So let's draw a right angle triangle in the second quadrant here. As for the theta, you can either place it here or here. Let's assume that our theta is over here. And now we need to fill up the length. Given that sine theta equals to k, which means the ratio of the triangle should be equals to k over 1. So according to the sine theta, it's actually the ratio of the opposite length over the hypotenuse. Which means here, the opposite length should be a k and the hypotenuse should be a 1. Where the adjacent should be square root of 1 minus k squared. Okay, then we can start answering the question. According to part 1, you are asked to find the cos theta. Cos theta is adjacent over hypotenuse. So the ratio should be equals to square root 1 minus k squared over 1. And bear in mind, you have to check for the quadrant. In the second quadrant, only the sign is positive. And now you are asked to find the cos, which means for cos theta, it should be a negative value. Hence, the answer should be negative square root of 1 minus k squared. That is the answer for part 1. And we can use the same triangle to look for the answer in part 2. In part 2, you are asked to find the answer for tangent theta. So for tangent theta's ratio, it should be equals to opposite over adjacent. So the opposite here is a k. Adjacent is square root 1 minus k squared. So the answer should be k over square root 1 minus k squared. And the next thing to check is whether tangent theta is positive or negative in the second quadrant. In second quadrant, only sign is positive. So for tangent theta's value, it should be a negative value. That's the answer for part 2. And let's proceed to part 3 now. Part 3, you are asked to find the answer for sine theta plus pi. Pi is 180 degree. So let's say your theta is about 150 degree, an obtuse angle. So if you want to take theta plus 180 degree, then we will get 330 degree. This angle will actually fall in the fourth quadrant, which means if we take our theta plus with 180 degree, we will get a triangle in the fourth quadrant. So let's sketch a triangle in the fourth quadrant. So you get a triangle here, and the theta will be here. You see that it's actually a straight line because it's just theta plus with 180 degree, you get another triangle here. And the ratio of the length of this triangle is exactly the same as the first triangle. So the length here should be square root of 1 minus k square. Then the next one is a k, and the hypotenuse is a 1. Now we need to answer the part 3 by using the second triangle. So according to this triangle, they want you to find the ratio of sine. So for sine should be equals to opposite over hypotenuse. Means that the answer should be equals to k over 1. And let's check for the quadrant. In the fourth quadrant, only cos is positive. And now we are looking for the answer for sine, which means the answer should be a negative value. Okay, that's how we solve for this question.
That's all for today's video. If you're interested in more genuine sharing by other geniuses, please subscribe to our channel and don't forget to turn on the notification bell, ding dong. Also, if you're struggling with 1 or 2 past year questions and the mark scheme just doesn't seem to help, Genie has got you covered. Feel free to let us know what question it is by filling in the Google form linked in the description below. GenieUs Hub will get genius teachers to fulfill your request for the solution. Genie will see you next time. Bye-bye.